Hello world, Dan here, and I got something to say.
Don't stop, don't give up, keep going, you can do it.
Okay, today I would like to talk a little bit about schedules and why having a schedule is very important. So, I have not really been on a good schedule, and I think that's kind of one of my major issues. And when I was really active and working out a lot, doing really good, I had a really good schedule. I had a job where I went to work at the same time every day. Then once I got off work, I just went to do exercise. So now I don't really have a schedule where I do things same time every single day. And that kind of throws you off. So for example, if you want to get up, you want to get out, let's say 7:30 a.m. I do mostly stuff in the evenings. Well, I have some days where I have to do work starting at 8. And so I can't get out at 7:30. I could get out at 9. But you know, that throws your schedule off. Let's say that you're somebody that does something in the evening. And, you know, again, maybe that you have different things come up and it throws your schedule off. So I think it's very important to at least try your best to maintain a good, consistent schedule where you're doing the same thing roughly at the same time each day. Now, of course, you do need some days off, time to relax. And so I usually have Sunday as my day off. And that's when I can go do my waterfall hunting videos. Saturday's pretty free. I do have some classes in the morning and a class in the evening now. But overall, it's pretty free. So, what I was trying to do was do kind of more of an afternoon exercise schedule. You know, get out by, let's say, 2 o'clock. And, you know, that was consistent. The problem that was occurring for me, though, is that I'd be doing stuff, like watching a video, and then you kind of lose that motivation. You don't get out and do it. Whereas if you can just get out, get to doing it, for me anyway, that works a lot better. Now, when I said that I had a job and I was going after work, that was pretty good because, again, I wasn't going home and doing stuff, and I had a physical job. And so I was doing physical work, and then I go out and do physical activity. So that all worked out. But now I don't have a physical job, and so it can be a little bit challenging for me to get out and get some physicality, get some exercise in. So I'm really working on that, and that's why these videos are now being in the mornings. So I'm trying to just get up and get myself out. And one thing too, with it being summer, it's really freaking hot at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you can come out in the mornings like this, it's definitely a lot better because it's a lot cooler. Now, it is quite humid where I live, and so you do get hot and sweaty pretty quick even though the temperature's a little bit lower. But one thing that's really nice too is you do end up getting a little bit more shade in the mornings, especially out here on this trail I'm on right now. We're about to hit some nice good shady spots because you can see the trees all over the place, so you don't get as much when the sun's pretty much directly overhead. So that's kind of nice as well. Now some people, they talk about getting up really early in the morning, waking up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and getting up and getting it done. And I think that's a good idea if you're someone who can do that. For me personally, I do not do well with getting up super early like that. I really need that good 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and I'm more of an evening person. I have more energy later, and so I can easily stay up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I actually feel more energetic. So that's one thing I'm working on too, is actually going to bed earlier. You know, trying to go to bed no later than 11 o'clock. And I think that's working out pretty good. So like today, I woke up just naturally, didn't have to have an alarm or anything. And I woke up at 7 o'clock. So that was really nice. But if you're somebody that you do work in the morning and you can get up super early at like 4 or 5 o'clock, then hey, more power to you. You know, get on that schedule. Excuse me. So you have to figure out what's going to be best for you. And again, get on that good schedule. One thing that scheduling can really help with too is making sure that you're getting really good, consistent sleep. So that was another problem that I was having, is that I was not getting good, consistent sleep. So one day I might go to bed at midnight and wake up at 7 or 8, and then the next day I might not go to bed until 3 o'clock in the morning. So now I'm sleeping until 10 o'clock. So again, just messes up your schedule. And then there would be days where I would have insomnia and I couldn't sleep at all. So I'd just stay up all night, sleep all day, really throw everything out of whack. So if you're somebody that kind of has that, I recommend trying to get up early, trying to get some exercise. So what I find is that when I get out, do some good exercise, and kind of use up my energy in the evening, I'm tired early. I'm ready for bed. Like last night, I was just like, whoa, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. But if you're not doing that exercise, you're not using up all that energy, that could be one reason why you might stay up later, like I was doing. So again, we got to try to figure out what's going to work for us. So I'm not here to, try to tell you, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out for 3 hours in the morning and eat this food and drink that drink. I'm just saying, this is what I'm finding that works for me and how my body responds. And so perhaps your body responds in a similar way. If not, that's all good. You got to figure out how your body does respond to different things. So yeah, getting up early, used up some energy. I feel pretty good. Today, we're gonna try to go 4 miles. That's the goal. Morning, ladies.
Morning. it got really, really dark. And
So we should easily be able to go 4 miles today. Now, I am walking a little bit slower today. The reason for that is I'm trying to keep things a little bit more steady since I just have a selfie stick. And so when you're walking, it's all bouncy and jumpy, and it's kind of hard to watch, especially if for some people who have motion sickness. It'd be really, really hard to watch these. So by going a little bit slower, I think that I can keep it a little bit more steady. I'm just recording with my phone, and I've been looking at some ways for good stabilization. And there's really two things that I have found. One is I could just buy a GoPro. Now those are meant for activity and movement, so they have really great stabilization. And when I was looking, I couldn't really find one for less than $200. The second option that I was looking at was getting a gimbal for a phone. And there's all kinds of different gimbals. What I was finding is for really, really good, steady, stable video, is you want a gimbal that has 3 axes. And these are over $100. You know, some of them are easily $150, the ones that I was kind of looking at. So it's like, okay, $150 for a gimbal to record on my phone, or buy a GoPro for a little bit more that's meant for activity and movement. And I think either one would be pretty good. I think perhaps the GoPro might be a little bit better just because it probably has more battery to it. And not that I'm, recording a ton on my phone, and my phone's been doing just fine. But that could be a pro with the GoPro. So those are a couple of things that I'm maybe looking at doing in the future. But for now, all I got is the phone. So we'll do what we can. And we've just gone half a mile. Morning, ladies.
morning. And
So, yeah, it's kind of nice to be out here and see all the people also getting out, getting some exercise. That was one of the things that I really liked when I was in China, was in the mornings, you would see the elderly people out doing Tai Chi and different kinds of exercises. They might use fans, or they weren't real swords, but they're like probably like exercise swords or whatever for them to do their, I'm assuming it's probably part of Tai Chi. That was really nice to see them out in the park doing that, getting their morning exercise. And then in the evenings when it cooled down and everybody's off work, you'd see everybody out doing exercise, kids learning an instrument in the park, people playing card games, just different stuff like that. And it was really cool. Now, that might also be because it was a really big major city, 3rd largest city in China. And now I'm in a small little town. But again, I think that's just really nice. And it kind of shows the culture as well, that, hey, people are interested and committed in having a healthy life and living good. And that kind of can inspire me, and I'm like, hey, I see these people out here doing exercise and working out. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that too. especially elderly people. You know, you see these 60, 70, 80-year-old people, and it's like, oh man, I hope that I'm as active and as healthy as they are. You know, I'll go out hiking, and yeah, I'll see these people that are 60s and 70s, and they're doing better than I am. And I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? So yeah, do not let yourself go downhill like I have. And I was doing really good in my early 20s in college, and I just let myself go. But we're getting it. We're gonna do it. If you look up, so I live over here by the Appalachian Mountains, or Appalachian, however you like to pronounce it that way. And anyway, there's the Appalachian Trail over here, and it starts in Georgia. It basically just goes through the Appalachian Mountains all the way up to Maine. And typically it takes people 5 to 6 months to complete this. But I believe there was some guy, I think he did it in like 41 or 42 days. That's wild. And if you look up, I think the oldest person to complete it, I think he was in his 80s, maybe like 83. And I think the youngest person to do it was like 5 or 6. Of course, going with parents. But it's like, again, you know, these older people can go out and do something like that. And I'm like, man, I can barely hike 3 or 4 miles. And, you know, again, that really shows you how out of shape you might be when you compare yourself to, you know, other people of your same age or older. So I'm gonna be turning 38 next month, and my body feels like I'm old. You know, get winded going up steps, can't go super far, can't jog, you know, and I feel really bad because I used to do 3, 4, 5 hours of exercise and strenuous exercise, full of energy, doing really good, and I can't do even a fraction of it. So that's why we're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna get it going. There's no more messing around. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more sitting around eating pizza and wings. I'm thinking all that time that you spent sitting doing nothing, eating all that bad food, you could have just gone out and taken a walk. You could have gone on a hiking trail. And then you kind of feel like you've just wasted your time. Well, I ain't wasting my time no more. I got a good schedule, getting up, hitting it in the morning. And what I'm gonna do, so here's kind of what I'm thinking on my schedule. On the days that I can, like today, get up, get out, do my outdoor stuff, go get some food, eat some lunch, and then in the afternoon, after I've had my lunch, taking a little bit of a rest, then go hit the gym when it's really hot outside. And then come back and do my dinner. I don't eat breakfast. I'm not really a breakfast person. That may change, but for now, I'm going to be doing 2 meals a day. And I think that's going to work out pretty good. And this schedule, I think, will be really good for me. And then do my evening stuff. So figure out what's going to work best for you, what kind of schedule that you can get on, and let's get it together. All right, let's go ahead and get a thumbnail. Let's try another one. There we go. I kind of like that one better. All right, that's going to be it for today. We'll see ya in the next one.